Here is your top news article from March 1st, 2026. Trump says Iran operation could take 4 weeks or less. 3 U.S. troops killed. Source: CBS News. 3 U.S. troops have been killed in the conflict with Iran, according to the U.S. military. President Trump said the operation, named Epic Fury, could take 4 weeks or less, and is proceeding ahead of schedule, with hundreds of targets reportedly hit. In a Truth Social video address, he offered a justification for the strikes. Here is your top news article from March 2nd, 2026. U.S. death toll in Iran war rises to 6, as Trump says campaign could last 5 weeks. Source: CBS News. The U.S. military says the American death toll in the Iran conflict has risen to 6. President Trump warned the campaign could last about 5 weeks. The IAEA chief said there is no indication that Iran's nuclear installations have been damaged by the ongoing Israeli-US strikes on the country. Here is your top news article from March 3rd, 2026. Pentagon releases the names of 4 killed troops and says they died in a drone strike in Kuwait. Source: Associated Press. The Pentagon has identified 4 of the 6 service members killed in the Iran war, saying they died Sunday when a drone struck a command center in Port Shuaibah, Kuwait. All 4 were Army Reserve soldiers. The incident comes amid broader regional escalations, with explosions reported in Tehran and US, and Israeli airstrikes on Iran, and retaliation by Iran and its allies against Israel. The report underscores ongoing cross-border conflict in the Gulf region. Here is your top news article from March 4th, 2026. A new video from the White House mixes Call of Duty footage with actual video of Iran strikes. Source: The Verge. The White House posted a social media video that blends a Call of Duty game clip of a missile strike with actual footage of Iran's real-life military strikes. The clip uses game-style editing, a character initiating the strike, and music reminiscent of Call of Duty highlight reels. The Verge highlights this mix of entertainment-style gaming footage with real-world military events in the White House video. Here is your top news article from March 5th, 2026. Anthropic says the Pentagon's supply chain risk label will have less business impact than feared. Source: CNN. Anthropic says the Pentagon's designation of the company as a supply chain risk will not hit its business partners as hard as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suggested last week. The firm argued on Thursday that the label's real-world impact will be smaller than what was predicted. The comments come in response to the Pentagon designation, CNN reports. Here is your top news article from March 6, 2026. Trump demands Iran's unconditional surrender as Russia gives Tehran intel on U.S. positions. Source: CBS News. President Trump is calling for Iran's unconditional surrender and vows to make Iran great again, while Russia is reportedly providing Tehran with intelligence on U.S. positions. As U.S.-Israeli strikes enter a 7th day aimed at crippling Iran's launch capabilities, Iran continues to fire missiles and dozens of drones at U.S. allies in the Persian Gulf. Washington and Tel Aviv say Iran's offensive power is shrinking, but Tehran's strikes persist, signaling a deepening regional confrontation. Here is your top news article from March 7th, 2026. Trump downplays importance of reports Russia is sharing intel with Iran. Source: Associated Press. On Saturday, President Donald Trump downplayed the reports that Russia has shared intelligence with Iran to help Tehran target U.S. personnel and assets in the Middle East. He said it was inconsequential whether Russia provided that information, effectively minimizing its potential impact on U.S. security. Trump dismissed the significance of the alleged intelligence sharing in response to the disclosures.